Let's learn another rule type that we can use in conditional formatting. This one is going to be based on formula that we can write. Let Excel apply conditional formatting based on the result of the formula. In addition to the previously seen rules, Excel provides us with more freedom to decide the conditions that we want Excel to check for. We can actually write formulas that result in a logical true or false, and Excel will apply the custom format when the result of the formula is true. Let's use a simple example to illustrate that. Let's say we want to format names of customers who have more than 4,20,000 rupees in sales. We can select all the customer names and then we go to conditional formatting, new rule, and we are now looking at the last rule type, use a formula to determine which cells to format. In here, in this box, we can type in a formula or we can point the cell reference to a cell where you have a formula embedded. In our case, we're going to just write the formula here. We can type equals because that's how all the formulas should begin, and say cell L13, because we want to compare the sales, is greater than 4,20,000. And now you should expect the cells greater than 420,000, and we want the customer names to be in a specific format. So let's say we click format and we say we just want it to be in bold, no changes to the fill color, just show it the names of customers in bold font style. And I'm going to click OK. Nothing happened. None of the customers are actually shown in bold font style. So let's understand what is happening. So let's go back and hit Manage Rules. Now we see the specific formula here. And this formula is L13, but it's an absolute cell reference, meaning it is only looking at cell L13 and comparing it with 4,20,000. Cell L13 has 3,10,438. So which means it is not fitting the criteria or not satisfying the criteria. So Excel decides not to change the format. If you remember, Excel will apply this format only if this condition is true. For L13, it's not true. And since L13 is put in an absolute reference, Excel looks at L13, it says, no, it's not greater. So this cell is not in bold. And again compares L13 and says, no, it's not greater than 4,20,000. So it doesn't change the next cells, next customer names, font style. And so you have the same result because you're comparing it with the same cell here. Now, if we change this to not to be an absolute reference, so for example, L13, now as the customer names are going down, the cell in the sales column should also be increasing. So let's try this and hit OK. Let's apply and see what happens. And now you see these three specific customer names are highlighted with bold font, and that's because their values here are higher than 4,20,000, which was our rule. So let's go to edit rule, and I can quickly change this to less than 4,20,000 and hit OK, apply, and now you can see the other customer names are highlighted. So when you write the formula, keep in mind that you're writing the formula for the upper leftmost cell in our selected range. In this case, we are writing the formula keeping K13 in mind. So you're referring to L13. So Excel is able to keep track of the position of these cells. And for K14, Excel will actually look at L14 and then apply this rule and then come up with the result. And if it's true, it will apply the conditional format. If you have cell references that are absolute, then the same cell will be used for the rules for further cells down the road. We had earlier in our previous videos covered in detail about the cell references, absolute, mixed, and relative cell references. So please check those videos again if you need to, because the cell references here in the formula in conditional formatting work exactly the same way as the cell references when you're copying formulas in cells. Now, if I want to apply this, I'll just say OK and apply and OK. And now we have the new rule applied to this set of cells.